Hi guys, so welcome to another bite-sized video for introduction to Python programming. Again, we're taking every topic, every knowledge area here one step at a time, really slowly, so you can pick up learning Python. And the basic idea is to pick up Python for data science. Right, so today we're going to be talking about slicing, right? Slicing is an important, is an important feature in Python, and basically, you get to look at a string and the individual characters in a string, and then pick up their positions, right? Now, their positions are indexed in such a way they are like their numbers, so you can pick up each string based on the number. When I say number, I'm going to show it to you. Say, for instance, I write the name Pablo. Now you can see that each letter you see here represents a number, has a number underneath or on top of it. So the way Python does its numbering is it starts from 0 and upwards, right? But not including the last number or the last index. So if, for instance, if I say I want to pick up three letters here, I'll have to start off from 0, 1, and 2. But I'm not going to say 0, 1, and 2. I'm just going to say 0 to 3. So I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, and then 3 is just going to be removed. It will not include that. So I'm going to show you how this works when it comes to slicing. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a variable, call it name, and then it's Pablo. Again, so that we can just maintain we maintain a level of documentation. I could call this string slicing. Now I'll come over here because I now have this, and then I want to slice through the string Pablo. Now what I'm going to do is, just like I told you, you can see that I'll call the name, and then there's this is an index. Now I create an index over here, and then you get to see that the numbers that are important inside from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be fitted inside this box. But before we do that, we're going to introduce a notation. You can see it's like it's a column. Now that tells us that we can take from both sides of the fence. You can see that both sides of this stuff. Now if I want to start off from the very beginning here, I'm going to put 0 because that's how it starts off. And I say I want to start from 0 here, and I want to end at pab. I'm going to be like 3 because 0, 1, 2, right? 0, 1, 2. So that's what basically to be. You can see that how the slicing works here. 0, 1, 2. So that's what string slicing is like, right? In fact, you can make it, we can decide to create like a string and say this is a Python tutorial, right? And I can still introduce this in front of it, I think, and I'll like for that, and boom, you can see again 0, 1, 2, 3, and then it ignores the fourth. The fourth is supposed to be the space here. Remember that Python understands that a space is a character. The interpreter reads it as a character. So you see this. So this is basically slicing. Now slicing is really popular when it comes to lists, and of course we're going to talk about lists in upcoming videos, but like a list is you can access and store data with a list. It's a collection. We're going to talk about that, but that's basically slicing can work that way. And again, just so you know, you can also slice from you can also use it from the very behind here. So you see that it's what it is that each character has a number to it. So this has 0, H has 1, I has 2, 3 over here. And when you start from behind, -1 is L, -2 is A. You can see that. So if I take out -1, L is just going to disappear. You see that? So this is basically how the slicing works, and it's intuitive for a lot of things. You probably want to pick out a part of an entire character or a string of characters, a series of characters. You just want to pick out maybe a body of characters from a long note or something, and this is just what string slicing does. So play around with this. Look at all the things you can do with string slicing. You can choose to say, okay, what if I make this -6? What does this mean? You can also want to ask, what does it mean if I even make this 1? You can see that once you put 1 here, it takes away this first guy here when you're working with this. What happens if you choose not to put any number in front? You can see without this, it's like 0. And that's what happens. As a matter of fact, if you choose not to end, you're more or less like trying to copy the whole set of strings. But that we're going to play around with that when we get to string lists, and that's where we're going to mess with that. So recap: string slicing is when you use a square. See this square bracket? Then you put a colon in the middle, like a notation, and they use numbering to slice through a string value, or to slice through the variable if it's a string, right? And then it's so important that you can use it to, slice off a series of characters, a range of letters, depending on what you want to do. Very important skill. In the leading up to learning one step after the other, when it gets a little like improved in the learning we're doing, you start to see that you can use all these things like strings, you can use all these join methods, you can use them cleverly to do a lot of stuff with data. Again, you like this video, share with your friends who are trying to start up or break into data science and who need to learn Python, because it's pretty crucial to learn the Python skill so that you can learn, or you can know how to solve problems. You can solve problems using Python. Again, if you like you like this video, like it, subscribe, and share with your friends who are trying to break into data science.